Now shifting our focus to West Asia, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has arrived in Washington, ahead of his meeting with US President Donald Trump scheduled for tomorrow. Now before boarding his flight to the US capital, Netanyahu said he and Trump would discuss victory over Hamas, achieving the release of all the hostages held in Gaza, and countering Iran and its proxies. According to the Israeli Prime Minister's office, Netanyahu would meet US envoy Steve Witkoff before meeting Trump. Now, Netanyahu has spoken with Witkoff on Saturday and agreed that negotiations on the second phase of Gaza truce would begin when they meet. The date for formal talks involving mediators and delegations from Hamas and Israel has not been set, with the 42-day first phase due to end next month. Now, Netanyahu's office said that Witkoff would talk to Qatar and Egypt, which are the key mediators, before discussing with the Israeli premier steps to advance the negotiations, including dates for delegations to leave for talks. A part of the first phase, in exchange for more than 180 Palestinian prisoners released from Israel custody, Hamas on Saturday freed 3 Israeli hostages. A total of 18 Israeli hostages have been released since the ceasefire agreement came into effect on 19th of January. Witkoff, while in Israel, met former hostages. Now, the second phase is expected to cover the release of the remaining hostages and to include discussions on a more permanent end to the war, which is something several members of Israel's governing coalition oppose. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich has threatened to quit the government if the war does not restart, potentially stripping Netanyahu of his majority. Meanwhile, since withdrawing some of its troops across the border in Gaza, the Israeli military has turned to the occupied West Bank. In the latest, it has destroyed almost 24 buildings in Jenin that it said were being used as terrorist infrastructure. Now, this has evoked condemnation from the Palestinian Foreign Ministry, which described it as a brutal scene. If we speak of Lebanon, Israel has missed the 26 January deadline to complete its withdrawal from the southern part of the country and has since launched strikes there. Hezbollah leader pressed the Lebanese authorities to pressure Israel to stop ceasefire violations. This as he announced that the funeral of his predecessor, Hassan Nasrallah, will be held on 23rd of February. Nasrallah was killed in a huge Israeli airstrike on Beirut's southern suburbs on 27th of September. And Israel scaled up its campaign against the militant group following almost a year of cross-border hostilities. Naim Qasim also confirmed for the first time that Hashim Sadafin, who had been chosen to succeed Nasrallah before him, was killed in October. Now, the group will hold its funeral on the same day as Nasrallah.
The funeral will be one, but the burial will be in 2 places. His Eminence Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah will be buried in a plot of land we chose between the old and the new airport roads, while His Eminence Sayyid Hashim will be buried in his hometown of Deir Qanoon.